No, I wanted to ask you about that because I heard you talking about that on the broadcast. I mean, what would be your ideal schedule? It sounds like Trackhouse probably would like to have him full-time in Cup in 25, with 24 kind of being that bridge gap year. And would the ideal schedule be get him in as many ovals on Truck, Xfinity, and then maybe a few in Cup next year? Would that be the way to do it?
So here's the problem. So when you're where he's racing, he road races all the time.
Yeah.
We get 7. And our guys race every week. Right? So to race, once you start running a Cup car, these cars are so different than everything else. It's very difficult to take something from that to here. So his road course abilities aren't going to get worse, but by comparison, the people around him are going to get better because he's going to be having less time. Now he has this core and this foundation of which to build off of. So he's going to be very, very competitive on road courses, but he's not going to be on ovals. It's that radically different. And so he's going to have to learn a whole new skill set. And so if he's going to run full-time Cup in 25, think about the experience that he's got to go gain, right? Yeah. So how do you do that? And and by the way, the stuff costs money. I mean, you don't just, so if he could put in a perfect world, he would just run as many ovals as he could get his hands on. And I know the temptation will be to run him in road courses. And by the way, you should, but if you had a choice, if the schedules worked out and you had a choice to run him in a Cup road course race or a Truck or Xfinity oval, run him in the oval. Like, he's going to be okay missing a few road course races. He's not going to be okay if they don't give him a ton of time on ovals. It's just that different. It just is that different. He's got the ability. The question is there going to be the patience that is going to be required for him to get to where he needs to be? But to get there, the clock's ticking. And these guys are going to continue to get better with these cars racing on ovals. This car is still in its infancy, and the gap is going to continue to widen. It actually is, in my opinion, these first 2 or 3 years, even though guys may not have been running very well, that experience that they've had in these first 2 or 3 years is going to be hard to overcome. And there are going to be some greats that come in and are able to do it, but the average driver is going to have it's going to be a longer period of time to get up to speed than it normally would have been.
So speaking of ovals, there's a test on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway oval going on today and tomorrow. Goodyear tire test. Certainly seems like NASCAR and the track want to be back on the oval next year at the Brickyard.
It sounds like that. I don't, when you start doing tests and the conversations start, there's a little bit of truth into every rumor, right? So it certainly seems that way. I think Indianapolis Motor Speedway is much like the Roval, having the flexibility to run either one. We should take advantage of it. I've proposed I propose that the Roval date just have a date and not decide if it's going to be a road course or an oval until like June, and then make a determination. Where's the best racing, right? Is the ovals or the road? What's the best racing? And I mean, why the hell do teams need to know? I mean, why does it matter? And you could have an oval race, or you could have a road course, and the tracks being able to be either provides a great deal of flexibility. Yeah. And so having Indianapolis Motor Speedway being able to run, and it's really a true road course. I mean, it's not a roll, it's really a true road course, but why not use that flexibility? And we've done this for several years. So I personally think it's appropriate to go back and run the Brickyard and on the oval. I think we should try it. It's what's the harm? I mean, what's the harm? And I do want to say this, Nate. the place is so big that it's hard to get a sense. There was a lot of people there this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you were there, and it was a lot of people there. And
they estimated over, I think, 120,000 for the weekend. I think they said 60 on Sunday. So it was a better crowd than they had the last few oval races there.
Yeah, and I don't think we should forget that. Like we need to give the fans what they want. The teams and drivers, whatever. There's a high quality road course or a high quality oval historically, and for the prestige of it, I'd like to see us on the oval. But let's give the fans what they want. And where's the best racing? And I think that until we go back to the oval, and by the way, we left the oval, right? And the racing wasn't very good there. But at the same time, we were working hard to make racing better at 1.5 in general. Now the best racing with this car is 1.5. Yeah. So while it's that way, let's go try it. I think it's time appropriate to try it. Yeah.
And to your point, I'm not trying to get on Marcus Smith's bad side, and I know it's too late for this year, but I love your idea that, I wish they were running Charlotte Motor Speedway Oval instead of the Roval at this point, given how the car is raced on the intermediates and the big speedways, right?
Well, I don't think that's getting on Marcus's bad side. Marcus loves doing things that the fans like.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why he built the Roval. I mean, he had the courage to build the Roval, and when nobody else would do that, Marcus Smith said, "I'll do it." And it's a tremendous strength that he has, and that he looks and says, what's good for the fans? Like, that's what's on his mind. And so, what's good for the fans is where's the best racing. And I know I come up with some weird ideas, but they do have flexibility, and Indianapolis does have Daytona has flexibility. There is some flexibility. Pocono has a great road course on the infield. There's a lot of flexibility that we have with racetracks. Let's take advantage of it.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.